I know right where I was.
Probably was pretty jarring.
Work. Like, I was like, oh. Like, aren't you better than work too? Like, yeah, I don't drink bananas.
Like at work, not before. Well, 5 years ago. It's a little different. Well, cheers and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I'm Paxton. We got Clint, the Mayonnaise Marauder, Moses, and we got Sunset Kelly on the ones and twos. Clay Court Kelly
in the house, baby. Look at this guy. Oh, and the Chucks, the green. The Chucks are kids. Kids, I don't know.
They look like kids.
Actually, different off-brand.
Even better, cat heads is what they used to call them back in the day. When I went to a hood middle school, like
Myers?
Yeah, Myers. If you didn't come correct with shoes and shit, you were getting roasted all day.
Oh, dude, yeah. I got my first pair of patent leather Jordans
Oh wow.
because I went to school with regular shoes on. And 2 days, and I was like, Dad, I need cool shoes.
My first couple days at Myers, I got home and I was like, I need the Bugs Bunny Jordans, please.
Well,
Because-
and my dad was like, look, here's a ceiling of money I'll spend on shoes. You can pay the rest.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you'd wear your shoes out of the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now you're
yeah.
like, I need to break it in for a couple.
Oh, they didn't go on your feet. I mean, they did not leave your feet after they fit.
Had the
It's like, no.
Barclays?
I had the
I wanted to be different, so I got the Barclays.
I got the Grandmamas, the Converse. You remember
Larry
those?
Johnson,
Larry
yeah.
Johnson, yeah.
But nobody wanted the Shaqs because they were like, Shaq was Reebok first, right?
Yeah, I think he was a
They
Reebok.
had the pump. I wanted the pump. Remember they had the pump with the little.
I had the black pumps with the basketball as the pump.
Yeah, those were the Shaqs, I think.
Were they?
I think they were.
I think that
Shaq
might have
Collins,
been. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, but the pumps were dope. And if I were to look back at them now, well, they might be fresh again if I were to look back at them now. But there was a period of time where all those old basketball sneakers were they look terrible.
Oh yeah.
You look back on some of them, but then do you remember the Huaraches?
No.
Oh, I was a hero coming to school in some Huaraches. It was like I would get my parents to they'd be like, hey, do you need school supplies? I'm like, nah, I just need shoes. And I need some starch because if I don't put a crease in my khakis before I go to school, and the kids in middle school, there would be so much starch on those khakis. I mean, you could.
It was a fire.
You could shave with it. That point was so sharp.
So yeah, we're speaking of sharp
Yes,
shaves.
we are
having a.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It is. So mine is delicious.
Mine is also delicious. So
Tell us what we got.
what
Clint.
we got here today is a Cantoritos. It is fresh squeezed orange juice, fresh squeezed lime juice.
I watched you hand squeeze it.
I hand squeezed.
Disclosed.
Tres Agaves Silver Tequila. That's from Mexico. Ancho Chili Liqueur. It is Ancho Reyes Ancho Chili Liqueur.
Also from Mexico?
Also from, sure. And maybe, yeah. And then shaking all this, poured over ice, a little salt rim, and a little orange slice garnish, topped off with just a splash of, I did pink sparkling Fever Tree, and then you got the ginger beer. sparkling on top.
Yeah.
And man, it's
really good.
I housed the first half of the cocktail.
Well, when you were saying that you were making a tequila cocktail with fruit, I was like, there has to be some kind of soda.
Yeah. I was
component.
going to go with the Paloma.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of this version of a Paloma.
Because we've already had a Paloma on the podcast.
We have already had, and we may have some version of a Paloma after this, but
Yeah, it's very delicious. So thank you for making it.
yeah. I'm trying to find out what
You know what else is delicious? When your good friends come into work to see you, right?
delicious.
Two friends and their daughter, Cam, Katie, and little Evie.
Shout out to Cam. Met Cam last night. Had a good, nice little talk with Cam.
So they come in, they're sitting there. Sweet little Evie sitting up on the chair. Hey, Paxton, you know, warms the heart, especially surrounded by all the other Karens that were
the
going
tomfoolery.
on, and the son that had a personal vendetta against me all weekend.
Oh boy!
The
I saw
son-
you put umbrellas in front of your bar. I was like, I kind of like this, but one of them was like dangerously low at one
Yeah.
corner, and I was like, but it keeps people on their toes.
Exactly, yeah. And it kind of keeps other people
Like
off
certain
off
tall,
of their
annoying people
toes.
away?
Yeah, off of their toes because this dude fell on it. Oh, we'll get to him later. So I've got my hands full. I'm making something. And this was a theme. We'll get to more of it later during the Karen section. But I'm getting waved down super hard. And little Evie turns to this person. She goes, "Can't you see that you have to wait your turn? He is doing something right now."
Oh!
It takes that from an 8-year-old. You know, I don't know how old kids are.
That kid's not even 8. That kid's like 4.
Yeah, this is a young kid. To have the levity to say to an adult, "Hey, look, man, let me make this simple for you. You gotta wait your turn." It's like you go to school. It's like
the mouths of babes.
yeah, from the mouths of babes. You go to elementary school. You stand in line to get your lunch.
learn how to
you
share.
queue up. You wait. You ask for what you want politely. You know. And I was like,
Can't cut in line for chocolate milk.
these are simple.
It's simple rules.
Simple tenets of
Yeah.
life from the mouth of babes. It takes that perspective from a younger person, I think. So shout out to them because the very next person sort of like caught that vibe. She was like kind of an older lady. Not kind of, she was probably like 70. And she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to make sure that you had time." I was like, "Yeah, you're good," because she wasn't being impatient to start with. But she goes, "You could be in Vikings or something." I was like, yeah.
My skin would melt in the sun.
I was like,
night raids only for me.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm Danish." She goes, "I love Scottish." So she goes,
Okay.
so she's like, "Well, I'm up here. I just figured I'd order something." I was like, "Well, what you want?" She goes, "Well, you just make them a shot of tequila. I'll just take one of those." I was like, "Okay." So I give it to her. She takes it down. She goes to hand me the card. I take it from her, cash her out, and she goes, "I'll buy you one if I get a kiss out of it."
Oh.
So I go, yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Wait,
what kind of kiss?
Yeah, she wasn't joking. But
She come in just hung out.
I got really lucky though.
Oh, okay.
She grabbed your balls when she kissed you.
Well, she's I've got some distance between us. She's on the other side.
Oh,
of
she
the
didn't
bar.
come around to the door.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Oh.
But not ever. I'll go ahead and bury the lead. Not ever either. So I didn't. She was old, so she just seemed old. Turns out she was a little drunker than I thought.
Okay.
So when she did try and like get up to make the move, it went real bad. She didn't fall down or anything, but she was definitely like, never mind. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute.
Squeeze your titty
It's
for
like when the dude,
Please come by or something and squeeze your titty.
it felt like a bag of sand. It's like, remember in Dazed and Confused where the guy's sitting in the back of the pickup truck and he's like, "Oh, I got an idea," and he goes to get up to like, accomplish this thing. He goes, "Yeah, never mind, gonna sit back down." I see that so many times. People are like, "I gotta go," sitting right back.
Yeah, false start. False start.
False start.
Kind of, you get drunk, you're kind of bounce into things sometimes. Like, and I'm up.
You know what a false start really is? It's when you hang out with people all day as the designated driver.
Yes, it is often a false start when you hang out as a designated driver. So this weekend, one of our dear friends, former guest of the show, Jennifer Smoot, is moving to Dallas. Hopefully people, her friends that are listening to this that didn't know because she didn't want people to know. Sorry. Ha ha. Anyway, she's moving. Whatever. We took a bunch of pictures, didn't post any, I was like, look, someone in the comment section is going to bust this out for you.
For sure.
And so she kind of helped. She planned a thing for a week from Friday, like a big Tybee gathering of everybody. I can't be there because I have to work somewhere on Cobblestones 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, look, let's do a more intimate one with your closest friends this Sunday. Done. It was the only Sunday she could do it. I could do it. Charlotte could do it. So we got
So
together.
she's had 2 going away parties.
At least.
Yeah.
She had 6 baby showers. There's no telling.
Yeah, I got you.
And so I was like, let's get together on Sunday. And then more on this later, but I dropped a knife on my foot and stabbed myself in the foot late Thursday night. So I was like, look, I'm not going to drink throughout the first couple legs of the journey. I'll drive.
Let me offer my driving service.
I'll drive and not drink. And I just shout out Heather Thomas for letting us borrow her minivan, which I didn't know had remote start. But once I figured that out, when I had to get back on that thing, I was like, start, 10 minutes, air conditioning's on. All right, let's go, baby. And so
you could be inside the bar and just go blank.
I walked outside. I was like, yep, get it going. And so,
Brilliant.
yes, I love remote start. It's the only thing my beaver doesn't have it. Anyways, so we go down front on Tybee. If you're not from Tybee, down front, like the downtown area. We go to Sandbar, or we go to Tybee Times, a little daiquiri spot we've got here. If you come to Tybee and you have daiquiris, you go to Tybee Times. You don't go to Wet Willie's.
Yeah.
Support the locals.
Yeah.
You go to Tybee Times where there's no music or sound when we walk in. The Braves game's on, but there's no game.
This is like a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon at 2:30, and I'm like, it's kind of, both Smoot and I immediately are like aware of it.
Think that was a mistake?
Eventually it came on. Like she got the game sound on when
Yeah.
the Braves started losing, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So we have a good time. Now I'm not drinking. I had like a couple sips of Charlotte's daiquiri. I'm not drinking. We're kind of gathering the crowd. we moved to the next bar around the corner, the Windrose. We walk in. I'm not going to have any drinks. And I walk in, and there was a reason to have a drink. Immediately sighted across the bar is a man we've talked about before, Creek Jesus. And whoo, he was on one. The Romans would have killed him today.
Proselytizing?
Yeah. But there was no disciples to be seen.
Were there loaves and fishes?
He needed a loaf of
Was
fish.
he breaking bread?
He was breaking something. He was breaking my balls. And so I walk in and I see him and immediately I'm like, hey, I'm actually going to need a tequila soda with some lime.
Now look, I don't condone drinking and driving, but as adults,
When it's going to be like 4 hours where I
there's a certain amount of time
You can have
versus a drink.
And I didn't know the bartender at all, so it wasn't like you go to the Windrose and it's Patty or somebody. You're going to get.
Yeah.
You have a drink. One. you
F
can't-
me up, fam.
Especially if you know her. You're like, okay, hey, take it easy there. It's like her and JT used to have a contest no one knew about who could make some of the strongest cocktail. But
neck and neck. Neck and fucking neck.
Liver and liver.
It's not like it's hard to make a strong. It's not like check me out. I mean, I can just
That's when
pour
the
you
pump
straight.
I appreciate it, but like, don't you want to sell more of these?
Well, JT was apologetic about it. Like, hey man, I'll bring it back for you. Patty, the next 2 or 3 would be even worse, and with a sidecar of your mixer on the side, like, and she'd look you in the eye while she's doing it to you, like.
See, I like a good aggressive way of doing it. You know, like especially coming from a sweet lady like Miss Patty.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know her and you're not from here or whatever, it's a disservice that you haven't.
Yeah,
Been to her bar yet.
She is a
Absolutely.
classic older lady bartender. She's been around forever on Tybee.
Don't take shit,
Don't take no shit. She's sweet.
but she can handle everything.
I think she's like Mama Stephanie.
Yeah.
She can wrangle any amount of trouble, and even with strangers, or she can organize the crowd in defense of was carried out the bar that they won the
Well,
won the championship.
any good bartender worth their salt, man or woman, they're going to have a typical following of bar guests or bar regulars that have the keen spidey sense or their awareness. If they speak, if they raise their voice, they've got their trigger thing or whatever, where everyone's ears are going to perk up and come to your defense as the bartender.
And Windrose is, I guess, for the lack of you've heard talk about Huckapoos, it's that kind of the South in Huckapoos. It's probably the most local. Sandbar and Windrose is the most local of bars.
Yeah. So if you start effing up in there,
under 75. Docks.
If you start effing up in there with the bartenders, and people notice it, then it's you versus the bar.
It's like I was in there a couple weeks ago. Sydney was bartending. She slammed. Probably been a couple months. There's this table of 6 girls. Kind of look. I was like, hey, ladies, do you have any questions about anything? Can I see all of your IDs? And I'll speed up when she gets to the table because you're helping out a little bit there.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, thank you so much. No, it's fine. Sure, ID. That's all right. We get any questions about the menu? I don't know shit about this goddamn menu, but I can answer food questions anywhere."
The cheeseburger is made of a burger.
Burger and yeah, it's
Buff.
beef,
Buff.
fresh squeezed beef.
You don't want no beef.
I have to have this damn drink because Blake is just.
Yep.
And we don't. Is there a thing called an anti shout out? Because I want to anti shout out my sister.
It's called a diss.
Yeah. Well, hey, don't, Charlotte, ever tell somebody, oh, you should be on the podcast for that. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Please, anyone. If people ask about being on the podcast all the time, I appreciate you want to be participating and stuff.
Who did she
but
say that to?
Blake. Creek Jesus, who's like doing the Breezy jingle. He knows the number. I wore my Go Breezy or Go Fuck Yourself tie-dye shirt, courtesy of Kelly when he first came on the podcast. And
Martin
even
gave
got
that
through
to
10
you.
minutes, man.
That was Martin.
We were saving the F's for 10
I made
minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, you did?
I think I can't see you.
Whatever.
I'm blind. I need a monocle.
I don't really care anymore.
And so I had that on, and most people, I'm surprised people had not seen that shirt. They're like, "Oh, that's so cool. Where'd that come from?" I'm like, "It's the classic." And Blake's like, "Hey, they make that for you down at the tie-dye shop?" And I'm like, "You've seen this shirt, you jackass."
Yeah.
So after talking to Creek Jesus and Ease for about 10 minutes, I wrote this down. What is the percentage of coherent Blakenese spoken to nonsense needed for him to get the point across? So if he says, say 100 words,
All right, 80 words, meaningless.
meaningless, 20 words,
20
words,
words.
they get it.
But they're interspersed between all the
you gotta
100
pick
words.
them out to like put
Yeah,
them together.
so it's like a weird anagram, you know.
It's like the imitation game. You got to decode the message.
A Rosetta Stone.
Every 8th word,
It's the Apache code.
every 8th word is like
it's the Hebrew hidden message.
I need
Hebrew hypnotist.
bathroom.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh God, just stop. Just please leave me
Well,
alone.
so you got to Poos, and you had warned me. You were like,
Bunch of cutting it out, by the way.
they are?
Yeah, is it record probably?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. We're there, and I'm trying to keep things moving because Smoot's having the blast, but we got a schedule here, and we ended up losing a spot. So we go from there to the sandbar. where we walk in, and the sandbar's got all the blackout curtains. It's still there. The sun sets on the sandbar.
Yeah.
So it's hot. So we
Sun sets
and,
on a dog's
We walk
ass
in there.
every now and
There's
then,
like
too.
4 people in there, and we walk in with 18.
Yeah.
And Miss Pam, shout out to Pam and Jennifer Knox, light up. Smoot's here. Everybody's here. And Doug's behind the bar. Doug light. Everyone's like,
They'll make you feel
we
good.
quadrupled the capacity of the bar, and they know more is on the way.
But see, it's not even
So
about
Miss Pam's like, this has been my day
It's,
better.
it's not even about the business part of it. They just genuinely love, like Pam especially.
Oh, yeah. Miss
She
Pam
just
is-
loves seeing people.
She's so sweet.
Yeah.
And so we walk in. There is 50 credits on the jukebox already on the jukebox. Now, here's a question. Their internet was out. AT&T was out in the island for like a day and a half. So they're cash only, which thankfully they had a group of people that had a ton of cash. And so, but I was like, why does the jukebox still work? I guess it's downloaded to it.
I think so. Yeah.
So
maybe. I don't know.
But Timmy Tillman goes, hey, there's 50 credits over there, Smoot. And she's like, "Pfft," and the air conditioner's underneath the jukebox. Well, that's
also
what-
very important.
But she's like, it's only like to here, so Smoot's sweating from the titties up.
I was sweating from the titties up and down.
Yeah. And so, but she's, I mean, just jam. You know, everyone's having a large time. Clint, I did a Jello shot just to kind of, and like, we're not paying attention to each other. So, Sean Williams buys 20 Jello shots, and he turns around as, I can't remember, somebody else walks up to the bar and misses him turning with the Jello shots and goes, I'll have 20 Jello shots for everybody. So there's now 40 Jello shots.
There's a conveyor belt
And
of
they're Jello
Jell-O
shots.
shots.
I don't even know whether to use the word Jello because they're not solid.
Oh, well, they're kind of like peanuts in the South. It's hit or miss depending on where you get them.
They're delicious, but
No,
they're strong.
See, sometimes because gelatin won't solidify if you put grain
Right,
out.
it does.
If you put too much grain alcohol into the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
And they're like $2, right? So you can be the baller and order 20 shots for $40.
They are deceptive, absolutely. There's that adage, there's always room for Jell-O. Sometimes there's not.
Yeah, there's always
Out of
room in
those
the
babies.
toilet for vomit.
It'll move the needle on your night.
so we're at the sandbar. I'm like, look, Rachel and Ryan went across the street and got some food from Nikki's. The Reuben egg rolls. Oh God, any chance to dip?
Have you heard of this? Have you
Thousand
heard of
Island
this?
dressing? Yeah, Reuben egg roll.
Nikki's?
Yeah, corned beef Reuben egg rolls.
Yep.
Dip it in the Thousand Island and look, y'all know I love mayonnaise. And you know what the main ingredient in Thousand Island is? Motherfucking mayonnaise. So I see that and I'm like,
I wish I could clip that motherfucking mayonnaise. Motherfucking mayonnaise.
I'm gonna rock that mayonnaise.
Motherfucking mayonnaise.
Marauder. And so I'm like, let's go. So we're gonna go to Nikki's. Go to Nikki's. The temperature at Nikki's is 15 degrees cooler.
Da-na-na-na-na.
I'm like, hell yeah. Now, I will get more to my stabby foot later, but my foot is swollen because I stabbed it in the damn nerve. I dropped a steak knife. Let's just get this out of the damn way.
Da-na-na-na-na.
So I'm on the dishwasher Thursday night right before bed. I've already brushed my damn teeth.
Da-na-na-na-na.
A steak knife slips out of my hand, point
Da-na-na-na-na.
down onto my foot between the bones of my second and third toe, right on the nerve.
Da-na-na-na-na.
And if you know anything about me, I keep my knives sharp.
Da-na-na-na-na.
And so I'm hurt.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Couldn't work Friday.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Getting old fast.
I thought you were about to get in the group. Didn't work Friday. Da-na-na-na-na. And I had to go. Da-na-na-na.
Sorry, I missed the notes on the
Come
bit.
on with my bit.
And so
I'm sorry.
I couldn't. Unfortunately, I couldn't work Friday. I spent all day Saturday laid up. Thanks to my buddy Richard for helping me out with all that. Watched Guardians 3. Cried like a baby again. Jesus Christ.
Wait.
So anyway,
We stay on Sunday.
Yeah.
So back to Sunday. I'm icing my foot periodically at bars. So I asked the bartenders at Nikki's for a bag of ice about the size of a softball. I make the hand. I go, okay, two to-go bags with as much ice. She goes, all right. And I sort of walk by the ice well, and then she goes in the back, comes out with a gallon and a half of ice. And I'm like, oh, no, she goes, that's fine. You'll have it all day. I'm like, it's not how ice works.
Ice doesn't work that way.
But I also just need it for a foot. So I go put half of it in the sink in the men's bathroom. Ice my foot, my knee, whatever. I hang out, get iced up. So I'm like, look, order some Reuben egg rolls. Everybody's ordering wings and food. And I'm like, do we need to go to Zunzi's, really? I called Zunzi's. They're like, look, we don't do reservations. I was like, well, there's like 14 of us, 18 of us. They're like, well, we're only half full. But like, we're all pounding food. I'm like, look, I don't think we need to go to another place to eat when we're not really going to eat that much. And
a busy food place like that, it'll be hard. It'll take longer to get drinks. And like,
Yeah.
it'll just, and
it's hot.
And it'll
It's outside.
disrupt their business.
It's outside. It's hot.
Yeah.
And we're going to distract from all the other tables because they're going to all come over. Everybody knows Smoot from here to freaking pool or somehow. Smoot's friends with a girl I went to elementary school with on Facebook. I'm like, how do you even know this person?
That's like Wink, man. Like any state you go to, anytime we go to a show, someone's like, Winky! saying.
True.
Some people are just universal, man. They're universally loved,
Yeah, yeah.
no matter where they go.
And so I'm also Clint wants to start drinking. So I'm like, well, maybe we should just go to. Well, I was gonna start drinking at Zune's anyways, because we could just hobble down the street.
Da-na-na-na-na.
So I'm gonna diss on somebody here again.
Da-na-na-na-na. No, I was
Ryan
done.
Sadowski.
I was done.
So Ryan,
What did Sweet Ryan?
I know, and it'll come back around here. So I'm driving this van full of people. I'll drop them off Huckapoos. He's gonna drive some people as well. Drop them off Huckapoos, and then come to Heather and Eric's to pick me
If you
up.
don't know Ryan Sadowski, Sweet Boy lives on Tybee. He works at Huckapoos. Because, we just saying names. People
Yeah,
might
yeah.
not know.
It's a good friend of ours, a sweet guy. Also a ginger, Paxton's cousins
Yeah.
through anti.
I played football with him for the Jimmy Bowl team.
Yeah, Tybee guy forever.
Top tier guy.
Yeah, and so he's gonna come pick me up. So I dropped the van off at Heather's. I'm sitting in the air conditioning in the van, waiting for him to come, and waiting. And I'm like, oh, well, and Heather
Couldn't
comes
speed
outside.
it. He couldn't speed it up.
So
Coming.
I'm like, all right, well, I'll just walk over to the corner here so he can pick me up and kind of not have to do some, U-turning. I'm like, hey, what kind of car is you drive? She's like, a Subaru. I'm like, so I'm standing there. Here comes Subaru. Long-haired ginger guy driving. I am hand out towards the door as he pulls up to the stop sign, and then hand back. It's not him.
What was it? Were they? Oh, you were by the corner, so he had to stop at this. Whoever it was.
Yes, so I'm standing on the corner
So
of the
you
stop
thought
sign.
it could've
So
been
everybody that stops
stopping-
looks at me like, and I'm like, hey, like the people golf cart, you okay? I'm like, I think so.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to
Also,
carjack
realize how
him.
many people have Subarus driving around Tybee. Every third car was a damn Subaru.
Yeah. Once you start
after
looking.
5 or 6 minutes goes by. I'm like, there's no way it's a 2-minute drive. So I called Jenna, who's in the car. I'm like, hey, where are you? She's like, where are the poos? I'm like, where the hell is Ryan? So I call Ryan, doesn't answer. So I call Rachel. I'm like, hey, are you heading back this way? She's like, yeah, it's like on the south end. What's up? Where are you? I'm like, I'm standing outside Heather and Eric's house. Ryan has not showed up. She's like, well, I'll just come get you. All right. She's like, if he gets there first, call me. So I'm just waiting. I get in the car with her. He calls her. Hey, what you doing? Nothing. Just leaving by Heather and Eric's. He goes, cool. Yeah, we're about to walk across the street. And I'm like, hey, Ryan, forget anything? And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And like, I immediately was like, it's fine, man. He's like, I'm up. And he's so apologetic.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you can't.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, it's
yeah.
fine, man.
He's a
So
nice-
like,
he's a sweet boy.
I get to the bar, and Paxton will attest to this. I was like, you guys are ahead, but check this sprint move out here. I'm about to Forrest Gump you fools.
So, in a lot of like sports games on consoles, they have what's called rubber banding. You play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
If you're in the back and you go through the blocks, they give you better equipment.
Yeah.
So to help you catch up. It's called rubber banding. Well, Clint was essentially rubber banding on Sunday.
Yeah, so I went behind the bar, made my first drink. I mean, 4 minutes later, I turned around and Paxton was like, whoa. I was like, look, these people have been drunk as annoying. I mean, you're in the van with 5 drunk women, and Smooth's got control of the radio. You know what's happening in that van? Lots of singing. It's too hot to roll the windows down. It's just.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
I'm speeding
Yeah.
in a minivan. Like, who's pulling me over? And so.
Yeah, I turned around a couple times and that kid was back on the escalator.
Exactly.
Anytime I looked, he was
I caught up.
filling a drink. And normally when he's at that pace, it's drink water, drink, it's
Little buffer.
3 drinks straight.
3 drinks straight, styrofoam, 16 ounces,
Yeah, and I caught up.
pure adrenaline.
And this wasn't peer pressure. I mean, you just on your own accord, right?
Personal peer pressure.
He did not speak to any. He spoke to me.
But I stood in the corner just trying to, because like it's different when you walk in and everyone's drunk.
Yeah.
But when you sit there and watch them go up the escalator again, I'm like,
I forgot who said it, but someone was like, as much as Clint talks shit about people being behind the bar, he spends more time back there than you do.
yeah, I'm on brand, bro. From behind the bar cast.
He's got tenure. I mean, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah, I don't know.
I'm the longest tenured non-employee there.
But actually,
Yes.
as long as he stands, like in the door and stops other,
I do.
Yeah.
Even especially like miscreants that are hammered, and I'm like, I'll see like there's some drunk guy there last night, and I saw he was like trying to get up the nerve, and I just kind of
Yeah.
like both my arms, and I'm
Was he the
staff
shirtless
coming.
guy with the greasy black hair?
No, not him, but the guy that didn't have a shirt on at 10:30 with a fanny pack on and needed a belt. No, not him. Not that I remember him or putting him on Charlotte's team at all.
There's a lot going on in that sentence.
Oh my! Look, if Charlotte had told Blake one more time he was going to be on the podcast, I'd been like, "Hey, guy, that girl thinks you're hot. She just got divorced.
Bam.
Go talk to her."
So rubber banding. So he gets to where he's going pretty quick. I mean, you turn 3.
I went in the kitchen and was like, "Can I have that slice of pizza right there?" They're like, "Sure." I was like, "Thank you," and just woofed one down.
Well, hey, I'm just going to say why, because it's not noticeable face to face necessarily, but the first tip off for me was a gentleman walks up. He's like 25. Would
yeah,
you say?
yeah.
And he's got this like I didn't even know it was a Hawks shirt. An
It didn't have any red.
an
or
Atlanta
black.
Hawks shirt. It was like cream
It
colored.
was cream colored. It was from like the playoffs, and it had a half a basketball on like a peach.
Yeah. So without looking at it directly, I would have never known it was a Atlanta Hawks shirt, but Clint noticed it. He goes, "Hey, buddy, that's a very interesting Atlanta Hawks shirt you got there." He goes, "Oh, thanks, man. I was there." And Clint goes, "Hold on. I didn't say I liked it.
I didn't say I liked it. I still don't know if I liked it.
I just said that it was interesting." So then Buddy goes, "Oh, yeah, I mean, well, I think and then Clint goes, No, I didn't say I liked it." I was like, all right.
That's the tip off.
Clint does it the first time. Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's a bit. That's fine. You know, we break balls.
I'm
Hey,
making sure everybody else heard it the second time.
we break balls. You know, we're all in this thing together. But then when he goes, "No, I got to stop you right there." I didn't.
Whoa, Hondo.
hey, get back on the escalator.
Literally, the dude was defeated, and I wanted to step in and be like, "Hey, man, he's not."
And he's like, well, the thing is, Alex was out there, and I was like, isn't that an interesting Hawk shirt? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, so Alex was like, oh, I like that. And I was like,
Oh, yeah, because
that's
Alex
why
goes-
the guy was like, oh, yeah, because I was like, oh, I didn't say I like it.
Yeah, because Alex is like, "Yeah, I don't like it either." No.
But yeah, I caught right up.
Yeah,
But felt good to-
you rubber banded right up. So then,
I went home and made it. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, please. So then I get home and I get some texts from Clint, and he goes, "Sorry for the threat," and I was like, "Look at," I was like, "The threat?"
Huh?
And then he goes, "Yeah, what I mean by threat is," and it was like some explanation, and I was like, "What?" I'm finding no context for this.
No, I texted you at 12:26 a.m. and said 20 minutes. And you said, Travis should be leaving soon. I'll holler. I said, I don't often make threats. And then I sent you something
Yeah, see, none of it made sense to me.
until maybe I didn't send you the screenshot.
Yeah, you didn't send me the right screenshot, apparently. So I call him, and I was like, "What's the threat?" And he goes, "Oh, I threatened to..." Well,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I was like, Clint is effed.
And then I sent you a picture of my mountain of mayonnaise, the same size as my Baldino sub. I'm just wolfing down this Baldino sub.
So then he goes, "Yeah, I ate all that mayonnaise." I was like, What are you talking about? So then I look back.
I got home and I got really high.
I look back at the picture, and yeah, there was some mayonnaise in the corner, but it was not the focal point of the picture of the sandwich. He goes, "Yeah, he was making these references of a movie I've never seen." You know what I mean?
No one's seen the movie
That's what
93.
it felt like.
These are my head movies.
It made my eyes
They're
rain.
my head movies.
It made my eyes rain for
happy.
sure. But you know, it made Clint's eyes rain. Now let's talk about this. When you're sitting at home watching a movie with a friend,
Yes.
if the friend, all right,
The friend's never seen the movie. and
but
you have.
you have a really thoughtful system of it. But were you able to implement the system? It's where you, yeah.
So
go ahead.
here's the thing. So if someone hasn't seen a movie and they're not like it's a Marvel Universe movie, so I'm very in touch with that, as you guys know. So probably wearing a Thanos shirt right here now. So my buddy watches the movies, but he watches them with his kids sometimes, so he's missing stuff. And so he once he has a few beers, he's tempted to ask questions in the middle of the movie. And I'm like, hey, look, we had watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever the night before. We'd never seen that. He kept doing that, and I was like, look. Be quiet. It's going to explain itself. Like he's like going to a movie with an annoying girlfriend. He's like, hey, so what's that? I was like, is he going to die? Like, watch, enjoy the movie. So I figured out I'll pause it about every 30-ish minutes and be like, all right, questions?
Question and answer time.
Does anybody have any questions right now? Okay. I'll answer some, but I won't answer all of them.
You have the floor.
And so
It's a teaching moment.
Yeah. And so, but Guardians 3 is an emotional movie. And I told him that. He didn't understand it.
Every Marvel movie is
No,
an emotional
this is the
movie
most.
to
Look,
Clint.
have you seen it twice? And as much as I bawled the second time around, I was like, all right, this isn't just. This hits.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, when you're expecting
You don't
something.
even know what's the movie. It would make you cry.
I'm
The
not
third
saying it
one in
wouldn't.
a trilogy is always a tricky one. You know, to
It's
close
the end of the trilogy. It's
saga.
the last James Gunn movie.
No, I'm not taking
I haven't
that
seen
away
it
from
myself, but I'm curious.
you. I cried during Gladiator, man.
Didn't you say you cried during you cried during the online synopsis of the movie Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Yeah. I also cried at the end of Great British Baking Show one time. So who am I?
I'm just saying, I never thought I would be a grown 41-year-old man crying at an animatronic raccoon that's been operated on and had a bunch of like metal and stuff put in its hands with a otter with metal arms.
Don't you do it.
Interacting.
Don't you do it.
You better shut up right now. I don't think I can handle this. You know what? I think we should take a break because this is getting a little.
Because look, after one of the moments it was the most emotional, I was like, I paused. It was like, we need a break. He goes, I want to sit there. I was like, I do too. I was like, this is the best part about watching movies at home is the pause.
Oh yeah, you can go smoke a cigarette, take a pee pee,
I got to pull
make a
myself
trade.
together.
pull myself together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you on the second half
Kelly, you
after
put
we
the
pull
headband
ourselves
over your
together.
eyes to cover your tears.
Ever wanted to start a podcast? Don't have the equipment or the know-how? Well, we've got you covered. From Behind the Barcast is expanding into the commercial studio space. You see, step one is making sure you sound great, because no matter how good your content may be, people don't want to listen to something that sounds like this. From Behind the Barcast and Paxton Eugene Productions now offer in-studio audio and video production. Or the studio can come to you. We offer mobile podcast production from wherever you are. Now, with the hard part out of the way, there's no excuse for you not to get started. So if you're in the Savannah area, shoot us an email at FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com for details and a quote. Again, that's FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com, and let's get your voice heard.
Da-na-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Welcome back.
We did not rehearse that. That's right. We're just that good.
We record on Monday nights, and for the past 3 Mondays, I believe, we've had what's called the Miles Monday,
Which I named and did never
and
participated
have never
upon.
participated
Because
in.
the one Monday I had a Tuesday off, Miles couldn't do it, and then I have to work every.
Speaking of that, so what we do is we go down to the Winrose and the Sandbar, respectively. We go see our 2 favorite bartenders, Patty and Doug, and we meet up with Miles normally. You what?
Napkin.
Napkin?
Miles,
And,
of raw ingredients.
Of raw ingredients, yeah. So this past week, I texted Miles. I said, "Miles Monday?" ? And he sends back, "Nah, man. This." I'm like, "All right, whatever." It's like Kelly trying to buck on it tonight. It's like, yeah, we've all had a hell of a weekend. You're on record now. So we
got him.
go down to the Winrose. He goes, "I might see you up there for a beer or something." I was like, "You know what? That's good enough." We're Winrose. It's a little busier than normal because it was the 4th. It was the 3rd.
It was, yeah.
And so we're sitting there for about 30 minutes, maybe, getting lay of the
That's
land.
generous.
Yeah, getting the lay of the land. There's a lot of people there. We're at the end of the bar that we don't ever sit. You were just a mess over there. We're at the end of the bar that we normally don't sit on. We're down on the hump. So I text Miles again. No answer. "Hey, where you at?" I text Miles again.
I know.
No answer. I was like, all right, well, I guess he's just not coming. So then I roll over to the Sandbar, walk in the door. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sandbar, you're not from Tybee, you can sit in the main bar, and they have a TV
Where you can see the back
where
bar.
you can see who's in the back bar.
Where there's a pool table and 3 pinball machines, right?
And that, I don't know. Yeah, there's pinball machines back there?
Oh, yeah.
There's 3 of them.
And that kid was back on the escalator. There's Miles and his roommate Ian.
Yes.
With
Shooting pool.
Shooting pool with some girls. And I was like, oh, won't come out for me.
Okay, we blame him here.
No, all right. I don't begrudge him for that. But he could have texted me back, but he was so wrapped up in his 9-ball.
He was trying to sneak the corner pocket.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. But I was like, come on, man. You going to tell me? Come on,
We
man.
need a few more bottles of beer.
We named this after you.
Yeah.
Come
The
on.
namesake.
It used to be. Remember back in the day, when it was topless men's
It was
Monday.
Shirtless Man Mondays.
Topless
Yeah.
Monday or topless men's Monday.
I always skip that. Not that there's
Every
anything
now
wrong
and then
with
somebody
that.
will post on Facebook like this time 6 years ago or 8 years ago.
Yeah, anytime I was involved, it was pure coincidence. It was.
But when
Eric
they
Dunn.
post those throwbacks,
Yeah.
there's Clay Court Kelly over there without a shirt on.
Clay Court Kelly.
Svelte, chiseled.
The thing is, it's like it's like Grace and me, Eric, him. Like it's a bunch of throwback like
Eric
Tybee
Dunn,
guys.
yeah.
It started like in the winter.
Yeah.
It was all season, and like we're in
Of
there,
course, a thing like that would start in the
and
winter.
they're like guys dancing on the bars.
I went there for a few of them because I lived on that end of the island at that point. And honestly, I wouldn't stay very long because Dunn would get so.
touchy feely.
No, well, just he would become more himself and his unedited
The more
self.
Dunn he got, he was done.
I like the edited. I don't want the director's
The Dunn
cut.
edit.
PG-13.
I don't want the
They
director's
want the
cut.
behind the scenes extra.
I don't need the DVD credits. So
So we've done a little modification here. I'm going
Yeah.
more. This is more a traditional Paloma instead of the other thing. So what I've done here is again the Tres Agave Silver, the Ancho Reyes Chantilly Ancho liqueur, fresh squeezed juicy red grapefruit, a little bit of lime juice,
hand squoze.
hand squoze.
Yeah, because I've got a citrus squeezer, but it's only for limes and lemons. You can't
put a grapefruit in there.
I don't have the ringer on top thing.
Yeah,
the-
that was a shock to me. And so all hands squoze in, shaken, poured over ice, salt rim again, of course, because I don't have had enough salt today with the fried chicken and the tomatoes. And some pink grapefruit sparkling from Fever Tree on top, and it's good. Do you want to do a little?
We're kind of
I wasn't trying to cheers. I was trying to give you a taste, though.
no, I'm good. No.
What? You got to take a sip, bro.
You guys just swap cocktails.
Oh, there he is. Speaking of tails,
A little dry.
I started to tell a tale on the break, and Patrick's like, "Well, I'm on saving it for the podcast." I had a dream.
I forgot about this already.
I had a dream the other night that Paxton and I were roommates in like a house or a condo or apartment, and it was
Not quite how you told it on the break. You go, I had a nightmare that I lived in an apartment.
I kind of there. The fridge was full of pans. It was bananas. There's so many pans in the fridge. You got to chill your pans before you use them. Nobody's gonna
You don't
chill
tell you,
pans.
a wash pot never boils.
A washed pot never boils. Unwashed pot never boils.
Someone said that to me one time. I was like, did you say wash? They're like, yeah, you don't wash it.
A washed pot never boils. I was saying unwashed pot never boils. That's because it's in the fridge for 4
A
weeks.
cold pot takes longer to boil. I know that.
Yeah, I've heard that somewhere. So yeah, it was just I woke up and was like, I need to write this down, and like something happened, I just didn't do it. I was like, damn, but it was like we were in an apartment. I had forever dreams, like everything's just too far away from me. Like
Yeah.
I'm an efficient person, and when I can't execute efficiency, it stresses me out. So it's a nightmare. And we're in this dream, and like the house isn't as clean as I want it in certain parts. It's just like the place.
You're really trashing me here in your, in your
house is
slumber
clean.
cycle.
Your house is clean, except for the fridge where the pots are. You keep the cold used pots and sit there for 3 weeks.
Kelly's over there white gloving my computer.
Checking it out. But for those of you that don't remember this story from a few weeks ago, where Paxton's roommate Travis's cousin came in town and cooked and put a pot in the fridge. That pot sat in the fridge with this dirty spoon.
I was going to die on that hill.
Yeah. Well, guess what? The hill died on you.
The hill
buddy.
died on me because I took it out today. I was like, I'm tired of looking at this shit.
Well, every week though, I'd open the fridge and point, Kelly, here it is.
Well, it became a bit after a while. I was like, it became fun to leave it in there.
So today I was like, oh, Kelly, it's gone.
It's empty as shit, so it's not like, like it's not infecting everything in there. There's nothing in it, but still, I was dying on that hill.
You caved, huh?
Yeah, oh, buddy.
Well, the thing is, you're here 7 days a week. And Travis is not.
Travis here 3 days a week.
I was hoping you needed the pot for something else. Didn't even think about the idea that
And
it was
the pot-
in the fridge.
the pot was in the
that's where
nightmare.
that's
I
where
don't
it
use
is.
that one.
The
That's
pot was
where
in the
it
nightmare.
Huh?
The pot was in the nightmare.
Shut up. Really? I love that.
But I have vivid dreams. I just have vivid dreams usually. But if I take 5-HTP, if I haven't slept real well and you get serotonin back up, whatever, or like a melatonin help me fall asleep, I'll have bananas ass dreams.
Well, if like last night, this morning, if I wake up,
Life lack last night.
but before I want to, and I eat something, and then I fall right back asleep, boy, talk about an acid fever dream.
Reflux dream.
Yeah, it's
Yours
just
and volcanoes the entire time?
Food does it, and then like the only other thing that'll do it.
Weird. You should eat before you go to sleep.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, sometimes it's hard to. We'll talk about this on the Patreon,
Yeah.
which we will be doing tonight. But
thank you for our Patreon
I just
subscribers.
don't want to
We
get
appreciate it.
diabetes.
The Patreon
you know?
subscribers bought this tequila for us, and
nice.
this ginger beer,
Fantastic.
and some tomatoes.
Ooh, and the tomatoes.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
Let's talk about
Tomatoes.
no peanuts.
We talked about peanuts last week.
We did.
Yes, because I got the shitty peanuts from Chews.
Well, you got the good ones this week.
I went to Davis, got them this week.
All right. Well,
And
you
she
know,
blessed the peanuts for me.
you know what? Peanuts don't give you diabetes.
They don't give you diabetes.
I guess they could if you ate too. That's just salt. That's not a lot of sugar, right?
Sure. I'm no diabetes doctor.
But
I'm no Wilford Brimley. But I tell you what, I am kind of a doctor sometimes. I did attempt to go to med school and did pre-med. So anyway, so I worked at this place years ago on this hard surfaced area. And there was a manager there. We'll call him Squeven.
I would never figure that out. Yeah. Squeevin', what up, Squeeve?
Are you forgetting something?
What?
Are you forgetting something?
The key
Nope.
What?
Squeven.
Squeevin'?
Why would I call him Squeven? That's not a real person's name.
Oh,
I won't tell your name.
Hey!
ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to apologize.
10 seconds of Clint staring at Pat. If you're not watching, turn it on Spotify and watch.
I'd like to apologize because I've got a real happy finger when it comes to hitting the name drop, and I forgot to do it.
yeah. We haven't used it in a few weeks. So, Squeven Squidbilly. He's a countryman, a simple man.
Countryman.
I've described this man before to coworkers as if he lived for 10 years on a one-way road at the end of a cul-de-sac. He would still look both ways every day at 11 p.m. when he got home. He stops completely at yield signs. At least he used to. when he could drive.
Probably a lot of hookworm in his diet, is what you're saying, like the West Virginia.
yeah. It's just, and I'm not saying the elevator's going to the top. There is no top. It's an elevator in a 1-floor building. He just gets to the elevator and stands there.
And then turns around and walks out. I'm here.
yeah.
Home sweet home.
Oh, right. And so, not a bright man. I mean, a little bit smarter than Forrest Gump. He got to sit in the back of the short bus. They didn't make him sit up front.
Gotcha.
He didn't have to wear a helmet. He had to wear a leather, like an old football
Mouthpiece.
mouthpiece, and a leather helmet, but not like no face guard. And so, again, this was like 5 years ago. This gentleman had broke his hip about 2 years ago. He got up in the middle of the night, stood up too fast, fell down, broke his hip. Didn't realize he had low blood sugar. Didn't realize he had diabetes. So he's got the type 2 diabetes.
That's the adult onset.
Adult onset, yes. And he is a portly fellow. Does rehab for the broken hip, comes back to this job. That would have been 6 years ago, whatever the hell. If you're keeping track of the times on this gimmick, then you need a hobby. Talking to you, Danny. So comes back to work. I didn't work there then, but he's gimpy still. He didn't follow it with therapy after he had done the initial therapy. You got to keep doing therapy.
How old is he?
Probably about 60.
When the hip broke?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
oh wow.
And so...
And he found out he had diabetes then at 60 after the hip broke? So he could have been riding that diabetes train for...
We were wilding for a long time, so it wasn't helping. So, but he doesn't take care of it right. He doesn't drink a lot of water. He still eats a bunch of French fries, fried food. Like, he's not doing the things you're supposed to do with diabetes.
Is he just constantly injecting insulin then?
I don't see him do it at all. I don't think he does that right either. So
They got the patch.
about 2 months ago, he started having some problems with his foot. And I'm like, hey, you need to get that looked at like immediately. Like, you have diabetes. This is the problem. And he's like, oh, I got an appointment with a podiatrist next month. I'm like, nope. You need to take care of this immediately. So he went to like a doc in a box, and they're like, you need to go see a podiatrist. So he made an appointment, and it was like a month goes by. I'm like, hey, your foot's every day it's not better. He said, well, the swelling's gone down some. I keep icing it. He's talking to people on the phone, but he's not going in to see a doctor. And I'm like, look, dude, I don't hate this man. He's a nice guy, just a dumbass.
But even if you did hate him, you don't want the guy
I don't want anybody to lose their... Well, I don't... There's some people who want to lose their foot, but I don't want this guy to lose his foot. And I'm reminding him. So this 5 years ago, last Wednesday, he called in sick to work. He'd never called in sick because I've worked there. The good thing this guy did at the job, he got there early, and he did a few things right. He counted money correctly. He always licked his hands, though, before he counted your money, his fingers. It's gross. Look, a little bit of water will do that for you. You don't need to have your hands on there. Also, most money comes pretty...
And I've never felt the need to lick.
This is not money out of a titty,
That's
okay?
that's a 60-year-old thing to do.
The crisp ones that come out of the ATM sometimes. You gotta
I don't give a damn. No matter where they are. It's just there's a generation of people who lick, and it's not me.
I went to a liquor store in the hood a couple weeks ago. I took a dude home at work, and I was like, "Oh, is there a liquor store open over here?" Like, told him midnight. He's like, "Yeah." Who stopped? I am by far the most Caucasian of men there, besides the Indian guys behind the counter. But what he's got is a little shot cup with water in it. He touches that, does the money. Perfect.
Whatever.
Don't put your hands in your mouth, and then after you touch
And
money.
then on a bill in the back of your mouth.
And he's not washing his hands. I mean, it's not helping with the diabetes. Don't eat money for your diabetes treatment. Or maybe
That
you
only
should.
works
I don't
for
know.
AIDS.
It
That
only
only
works
works
for
for
AIDS.
AIDS.
There's cocaine on that money.
Maybe that's what
It'll
he's
numb
doing.
his foot. Yeah.
So calls in Wednesday. I'm like, well, that's weird. Calls in Thursday. I'm like, well, okay. I couldn't work Friday because someone threw a knife at my foot. It was me.
Hey, self-inflicted knife wound.
Yes. It's better now. It's better. Thank you, Voltaren gel. If you ever need Voltaren gel, it's a topical anti-inflammatory, but you have to put it on 4 times in 24 hours. You can't do it 3 times. Its effectiveness stacks up. You've got to use it correctly 4 times a day. It's for arthritis.
Don't tell this to Diabetes Dan. He ain't going to listen to you.
Well, it doesn't matter because he lost his foot on Friday. Off with his foot.
Amputation.
They had to cut the man's foot off Friday. I was sitting at home Saturday, and someone texted me about it, and I was like, the whole foot? They're like, the whole foot.
So did he ever wear shorts? Did you ever see it?
Always pants. I never saw his legs.
Because, with diabetes, you got to put stockings on sometimes to keep the...
That's compression socks.
And like working on this very hard rock surface, it's not, it'll pound in your feet.
And standing, yeah.
And you're standing almost all the time. And we always thought he was just lazy. I mean, he was lazy, but we always thought he was lazy. I was like, he was just trying to avoid work. Actually, this dude was in pain. And ignoring it. Here's the thing. You're going to be in pain all day. Go take care of it on your day off. I ice it sometimes. I'm like, well, he said, what's a night? I'm like, that's not, Jesus Christ.
Look, I'm stubborn. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to medical stuff. You know what I mean? But if I'm in pain,
We can tell you've been a ginger for 42 years. What the hell?
if I'm in pain and I find any sort of like relief for it,
I mean, I'm not ashamed to ice my foot at a bar at 6 o'clock on a Sunday because look, I don't care.
yeah,
People are like, oh, what's wrong with you? I'm
I
like,
want
it's
to feel
fine.
better. Yeah.
So shout out to this guy. I hope he gets better. Obviously, I don't think he'll be coming back to work anytime soon. And I guess when they cut the foot, you got to think they got to like lop it off high. So
That's the thing. They don't cut at the ankle. They got to go up.
he might come back a little tink though. If the Oscar Pistorius,
Well, I mean, dude, he could get.
he can murder his wife then, right?
I thought you said Jocko Pastorius.
Jocko Willnick and Oscar Pistorius.
No,
combined?
Jocko Pastorius is a bass player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
that
the
him in
best
that
bass
picture right
player
there?
ever. Yeah, that's him. Maybe he could come back with a blade on.
I think he should get so mad, no matter how high.
He's like, "Excuse me, sir, that is Josh Homme and Iggy Pop."
Is it? Oh, okay, I've heard that before. So, shout out this guy. So, also, at work on Thursday, 5 years ago Thursday, I can get back to with it. Me and my buddy,
Spit take.
we'll call him Brian.
I won't tell your name.
And I are upstairs cutting paper, butcher paper for the tables, you know?
Yeah,
Butcher paper on over tablecloth,
cutting paper.
cutting paper. And this dishwasher, a newer guy, comes up there, and I saw him in the kitchen talking to the kitchen guy. He looked kind of off, but when I get to work, the first 45 minutes, I don't need, hey, I want to work. I want to get everything set up, and I want to take a 10-minute break, and then come back. And now I'm friendly, Clint. But I need, because I'm used to, where I used to work, I would come in with headphones on and do my side work.
You need your gestation
And people would bother me
period.
when they needed help with something, like, hey, what do we do about this? Or there's a fire in the kitchen. You know what the fire extinguisher is? I'm like, you all walk by it every day. It's right there. You know, but like, I need to like, acclimate to being in the
A
building.
gestation period.
Yes.
You need to hibernate in the womb, in the trust
Yes.
tree,
Oh, in the womb is the
in the
best.
nest.
If I could just go in the womb before work every day.
Hey.
Yeah.
I have a womb at work. It's called the walk-in.
Hurrah! Or don't let me forget the walk-in.
Okay, walk-in.
Okay, so this guy is kind of being weird in the kitchen. I'm not paying attention. I'm going upstairs to cut paper. He comes up there. He is stumbling. And he,
Let's slow it down a little bit. That sounded like Boomhauer there for a second.
so we're not going to scat on this podcast or what?
Scatman Carruthers.
So, Scatman Marauder.
Marauder.
So we're upstairs cutting paper.
Paper
Those of you
cutter.
that have turned this to half speed, I'm sorry. We're cutting paper, and this guy's kind of stumbling around some, and he tries to go a place he has no business going, no need to go. It's like towards the coolers, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, he falls into me. He's like, where did he go? I'm like, where did who go? And he's like, where did he go? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe he went to the office. The chef's office and the manager, GM's office are side by side. So he walks around the corner.
And this is right when you get there, you're saying?
Yeah, I've been there for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm catching up with Brian about stuff, and he walks around the corner, and I hear the sound of a man falling.
Yeah.
And I hear, ah!
I know that sound.
And I go,
What, Blanca from fucking Street Fighter?
and I go, this is above my pay grade. And I heard the man and the GM talking thankfully upstairs, and I'm like, doo-doo-doo, hey, so guy just thought, now I'm back there. This is on you. And she's like, well, is he okay? I'm like, I'm not walking around the corner. You're going to have to do this. He's a younger black guy. He's a little aggressive, and I don't know what's going on with him, but I didn't want him to lash out at me. He's not going to lash out at a 5'2" old white lady, you know?
Yeah.
So she,
And if he's going, where is he? And you don't know the he that he's talking
or
about.
why he wants to find him. Maybe
Yeah,
he's mad. Maybe the guy
yeah.
stole his wallet. I don't know what's going on. But he's moaning back there. So she goes around there talking to him. Like, you okay? Should I call an ambulance? And he's like, So we get the kitchen manager up there, and he comes in there and he goes, let me piss first. Because he's like, this guy, it looks like he's drunk.
I was going to say, it seems like he's dealt with him before, or...
Just dealt with this situation before. He's been
Yeah.
over 10 years. So 15 years now, I guess. And so he walks around there to talk to the guy, and I hear, get off of me. And I'm like, ooh. So I'm going to stay upstairs in case it gets bad, but I'm not going to go around the corner to help unless it gets bad. And so we're kind of standing there, and finally, like, two more people come upstairs. They're like, hey, Tag, you're staying up here now. And I'm like, this is what's going on up here. You stay here until it's over. So I go back downstairs. 10 minutes later, HR, Director of Operations, like, 3 people come flying in upper management for this company upstairs to go deal with this. I have to go back up there like 20 minutes later to get something, and I'm like, I don't want to go up there. And I walk up there, the back door's open, there's paramedics in there. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Shit.
And so I'm like, hey, I need some of those souffle cups. They're like, hey, did you see him fall? And I was like, They're like, you didn't see him fall. And I was like, I don't know. Do I need to fill out an incident report? They're like, as long as you didn't see him fall. I'm like, that's why I didn't walk around the corner.
Yeah,
I don't
did.
want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I wanna go
that-
work.
You're thinking ahead. You're like, hey, yeah, as long as I'm not a party.
Someone's going to take it's not like if the guy was alone, I'm going to help the guy for sure. But if someone else can take care of it, it should be taking care of it.
Yeah.
The further I involve myself, and like, I don't want to give medical treatment to anybody. I'm not a licensed.
Yeah, you can.
If something
And you
bad
don't want,
happens.
Yeah, and you don't want to be a party to...
That good
A
Samaritan
little,
thing.
a little
bites you in the butt.
PSA for you guys
Yeah,
right here.
you're-
A little PSA for you guys. You can't, if you go to a restaurant or a bar, you ask them for Advil, Tylenol, anything. They can't give it to you because if something happens to you and you have a negative reaction, it's on them. So don't ask. I mean, if you're at your neighborhood bar and they're your friends, they might give it to you. But a random restaurant cannot give you Advil, Tylenol, any of that stuff. They can give you burn cream if you burn yourself. and a Band-Aid cut yourself. That's about the end of it because it's a liability.
What about
If they-
Rolaids?
If they give you anything to ingest and you have a negative reaction,
Oh, wow.
you are now responsible.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
dude ended up no drugs, no alcohol. He was having some sort of seizure.
Really? Like that sounds like a temporal lobe seizure where you don't immediately physically react.
We excavated the brain, and that's what it was. We put that guy's foot in there.
I mean, things happen.
Yeah. But this is all happening while the peg leg is not at work. But you know what peg leg almost kind of was sometimes at work?
Probably.
Oh shit! It's the Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Oh, shit. This week's Karen of the Week is brought to you by the medical system. Do not give help to people if you are not a doctor. And back to Clint.
Happy anniversary.
Happy 1 year anniversary. To the Karen wig.
I got this wig, this hair done. Not a wig.
I got my hair did.
I got this hair did. 1 year ago, it made its debut on this podcast.
And how did you realize that it was a year ago?
Shout out to Sydney. Not just I'm going to pronounce her name correctly.
Not gonna pronounce her name.
And so,
We're doing that on the break. We're talking about Office Space right now.
we got Claycourt Kelly over there just losing it. So, shout out to her. She sent me a Snapchat memory from a year ago. And shout out to Taco Rob.
Taco Rob.
Big
yeah.
Mac Taco Rob, who I'm going to go get some Big Mac tacos, like Smash Burger Big Mac tacos later from him. He's the Smash Master this week. He was wearing the wig in my living room, and I was like, "I'll be goddamn." It was at the house still, so obviously it was a year ago. So happy anniversary, baby!
Happy
Oh,
anniversary.
thank you for all the bad times.
Yeah, right.
So speaking of bad times, busy at work. A person, maybe me, maybe not. Busy at work.
5 years ago, or
Yeah, sure, why not?
About 5 years ago.
4 years and 11 months ago, actually. More recent than most. Server's busy. Real busy. Karen. Waves. The plane landing wave. Just left the table 3 minutes ago. Can't need a damn thing. Food's not landed. I've already checked on them. What's going on? Can you go over there and fix that picture for me? It's a little crooked and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, wow.
I'm busy. I have 6 tables. 2 just got seated. It's 7:30 on a Thursday night. We are slammed.
I'm not even mad.
I am. Very busy. Every time I get near the table, excuse me, could you get to that picture? You know what? You can. Feel free to go over there and fix that picture or any other picture in the room. I don't care. I'm not the interior decorator here.
Wouldn't that be satisfying for them, though?
That's what I'm thinking.
I would have done it on my own accord.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
See, that's what I was saying. I'm not mad at
Even
her.
Clay Court will do it.
I would have been compelled to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have even said anything.
Just go there and adjust it.
I'm not super OCD,
my buddy
but-
Richard walked in my house Friday, and I have a picture of my dog, shout out to Grant Nelson, he painted of my dog as a puppy the day I picked him up. And the picture of the dog, the actual photographs on the other side, the printed out pictures on the back side. And I finally realized I have the picture on my phone. I can just show him that, but instead I take off the wall. So it's crooked. So he walks in, fixed it, didn't say anything. He just kind of looks at me. I'm like, crooked pictures don't bother me. I'm not OCD, and man, a drawer can be open, a cabinet. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I'm not sleeping with the enemy labels out, hand towels all the right length, but
there's
there's
certain
things
things
that I
I do-
have to.
Now,
Yeah.
here's
I
the
got to
thing.
sort this.
If you are that person, and I get high around you, and I notice, oh baby, oh baby. One time, V and V are in Athens, about to go to a Georgia game. I think it's his first Georgia game in Athens, and we got in stoned. We're like somebody get the house like 20 minutes to leave, and he's like he cleaned up my friend's kitchen for her, and he's reorganized everything, and he'd go outside and then come back in, and he'd like. So every time he went outside, I was like, yeah. But he'd walk in, and you'd see like the moment of like.
well, no, wait a second, Paxton. You like to like touch things when you get to your bar. Like you got like.
That's work though.
All right. I like things to be just so whenever I get to work. Because, all right, typically I come into work, like, there's some stuff not where I want it to be.
Skew?
It's where I like it. It's not necessarily that it's in the wrong place, but it's not where I like
It's
it.
not in your place.
It's not in my place, yeah. But then there's this.
All the pots aren't in the fridge.
But I do have that thing in me. But also, Bob, our dishwasher, he faces all the cutters, the pizza cutters in one way. And I used to go F with him and just turn one or two around. But then that would create the snowball effect where he would just get madder and madder as the night went on.
And I don't want to abuse anyone.
I'm on your side on this. Trust me.
That is an outright lie.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I keep my place a little squared up, but it's not like if you want to right glove, there's going to be some dust in the corners and stuff. But
Yeah. Well, and the painting thing or the picture thing, like I'll adjust.
You paint.
Yeah.
I don't paint these pictures.
So give me a.
So let's back up a little bit, though.
Yeah. So give me a.
So here's
age, race, and proclivity. Like redneck, white. No. Mid-30s, white, dressed.
She was from
kinda nice.
Cincinnati, the West Side.
Okay. I'm not familiar with Cincinnati at all.
My friends from Cincinnati told me that was going to be important if you're from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't know.
She was old white. Because here, let me give you an idea. Pre-Picturegate, Karen orders a fish sandwich. Girl, let me buy you a fish sandwich. She orders a fish sandwich. She would like no salt, no pepper, no seasoning, no sauce.
Okay.
All right.
Doesn't everything already have salts on it, especially like a fifth famewith?
So she wants it grilled. All that stuff. I'm like, okay, well, no butter, nothing. I'm like, okay, there's just a little no oil in there. It's fine.
I gotcha. Okay. I'm still with her.
It comes out.
I'm still with her.
Can I get some more lettuce and tomato? Sure. I fuck her up with lettuce and tomato.
I mean, that's
'Cause
the
I'm
only
not
condiment
making-
you got,
Here's
so.
the thing. I'm not going to make 2 trips for this lettuce and tomato. And I come back, she goes, you know what? Let me get a couple things of ketchup. All right, bitch, you don't want no salt, no sugar, no spices. Ketchup is full of salt. It's full of sugar.
Ketchup is sugar,
Salt,
salt, and
tomato.
red. No, just
Red
red.
dye 24.
Just red, yeah.
All right. If you don't want salt, you don't want
Just
seasoning,
let
you don't
me know.
want sauce, you don't want a goddamn thing, you want ketchup, what are you doing here? You've gone back the other way. Ketchup is not good for you. And she used 3 2-ounce ramekins of ketchup. And then was like, and I guess the sugar hit her. She was like, that picture's messed up.
Because if I ever thought of a condiment for a fifth famewith,
It had a tartar sauce.
it comes with tartar
sauce or a sriracha.
or like a
remoulade.
remoulade,
Or a slice of cheese.
or
You're fired.
What?
only the top tiers get cheese on their fish fillet.
I do it on fish fillet. That's because it's not. Is that fish?
I mean, yeah.
Is it fish?
Reconstituted sea
Well, it gets a
creature.
little bit better here because this
Let's
is when
hear
the
it.
Karen really Ku Klux Klans.
Ku
You
Klux
wanted to know
Klan?
what she was? There you go, buddy.
Really?
60 years old, white, drops the N-bomb a lot probably. She probably says, spick, faggot. All, she says all the stuff
Yeah.
constantly.
Without hesitation.
Without hesitation. She probably just runs through the litany when she looks at somebody just to make sure she gets them. And she's like, you chinks big.
Oh, I got a name for you, bro.
Yeah, she's going to figure out what you are by who's watching for that, your reaction.
Yeah.
Well, Karen decides she needs to pay in cash. Karen doesn't have enough cash to tip me. So you know what I get? My fucking favorite thing. She
Verbal
tips
tip.
me $1 bill, 7 quarters, a bunch of nickels, a few dimes, and that's right, the motherfucking coppers, the pennies.
The penny.
She gives me all this change. I, don't want to carry around change. It makes noise. It's got weight to it. It's a pain in the ass. So I put all the quarters into my bag. I take the nickels and the pennies outside, walk out the front door, and I yuck them things into the street.
You yeeted it.
And come here, stay on me. Stay on me. I throw all
trying.
this change into the street. As I do it, though, I'm kind of waiting for like an opening in the crowd 'cause it's busy outside. And and a server's walking up with this nice Christian guy I work with. And I just cheat all this change over his head. He's like one of the, like, everybody kind of looks and stops. And he's like, what in the hell are you doing? And I was like, I ain't carrying that shit, bro.
I ain't carrying this Karen
I ain't
change.
carrying that shit, bro.
God rained down blessings upon thee. I was
The
showered with
homeless
it.
guys are going to
I
have
was going to say, let's be like chum in the water.
Come here. Come back here one more time.
Yeah, we're
The
just-
homeless guys are going to have a field day picking these nickels and pennies out of the cobblestones. It's a pain in the ass. Just like the one time me and my friend Maddie, shout out to Maddie. We were young. We were on drugs. I was 18. He was like 21. We glued a bunch of nickels to the ground in the homeless square in Franklin Square in downtown Savannah with super glue and washed them. It was terribly hilarious.
I don't know who did it, but at the inside bar at Huckapoo's, there's a single quarter glued to the ground. I've worked there for 14 years. Back when I used to work inside, I would walk out there and kick it and be like, oh, I would forget.
It blew off. Shit.
I would forget I wasn't the one that put it down there though, but I would forget that the quarter was just a prop. So well played. I'm glad you blessed those homeless men with enough change to
make change.
I made a change.
you know what? Be the change.
Be the change.
You want to be in the world.
You want change I don't want to be? Pennies and nickels. Let's get rid of these fucking things, okay?
Be the change.
But here's the thing. Let me ask you this. I brought this up to Grant. If you get rid of the nickel, then the quarter becomes a problem. Because 25. Then you have dimes and quarters, then you're not hitting even. So you know what? No penny, no nickel, no dime. Bye, all of you.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
All right, look. I'll go to the store if I'm paying with cash, and they'll be like, oh, you don't have to if it's like 302.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, you ain't got 2 pennies? I'm like, no, give me the 98 cents.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to take it, put it straight in my jar, because I'm not going to carry it around on me. And I'll probably get...
Not a little homeless on the streets of Tybee you can throw it out there for.
I'll probably get like $50 a month just of
It adds up.
of off spray without even thinking about it.
I don't want to deal with the goddamn pennies and the nickels.
I'm just...
I mean, the quarters and the dimes, sure. But I'm Coinstar and the rest of that shit. The quarters I'll put in, I'll you know.
Yeah, I'll take that 10% hit.
You go to my house right now and you went through my entire house, top to bottom, to find regular American change, like current change, maybe $6.
Oh, okay.
If you stay out of my ashtrays in the car, or whatever they call it now.
What would they call it?
It's not really an ashtray anymore.
Yeah.
You don't only smoke in cars. They don't have lighters anymore.
Yeah.
Well, one of my cars does.
Now they have a USB. Actually, in my car, it's got a fake lighter. It looks like the lighter port, but it's literally just a 9
Is that
volt.
where you plug in your center
My
console?
center console. No.
So, have you had any Karen?
I have. I had and Kelly said this earlier, a Quadrophenia of Karens.
Ooh, I went to high school with her.
All right, so I thought I was getting pranked because we mentioned it in the first half with young Evie being the voice of reason from the mouth of babes. Like, hey, you got to wait your turn. You know, like, can't you see that the guy is busy sort of thing. So this happened 3 or 4 times all in the same shift. I thought it was a bit. I thought someone was doing a bit because it was literally the same thing over and over and over again. We're very busy.
Fix that picture. Fix that picture.
Yeah.
Fix that picture.
We're very busy. And I'm working my ass off. There's a lot of people there. The kitchen's backed up. Someone would come up with the vigor, the vim and vigor, like, excuse me, hello.
Hello.
So I get over to him, I'm like, yeah, what's up? Hey, can we make a to-go order? The phones are off the hook. What, we called. I was like, yeah, let me go look in the kitchen really quick, and I'll tell you how long I think it's going to be. Okay, thank you. That's very kind of you. Walk back to the kitchen. We're about 45 minutes or an hour. So I walk out. I'm like, at least an hour. And then they go, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see.
You check their non-watch.
Let's see. Sir, ma'am, would you like to order? Yeah.
Play the Jeopardy song.
I turn around and walk away. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna give myself a 10-second break.
Yeah.
I
You're
come
in
back
timeout, Karen.
I come back out. They go, oh, we're ready. Okay. Walk up to them. Okay.
What do you want?
Exactly.
No!
Turn to what do you want? What do you want?
Oh, God.
Put the order in. Take it back. I come back out. I'm like, at least an hour. See you around then.
You're supposed to saying, go away.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll see you then.
It's going to be an hour. I'll see you then. I'll yell your name.
Karen!
Yeah, Karen! 1 hour later.
You could call people Karen at work, though, and get away with it. I
Oh,
can't.
100%.
I've come close.
1 hour later, person flags me down like they're landing an airplane. Excuse me.
The old Paxton Express.
Yeah,
landed-
exactly. Yeah. Landing in my bum hole. Excuse me. Can we make it to go order? Yeah. What you want? Let's see.
How long is it going to be? An hour.
Let me go. By this time, I'm like, I'm not going back to. I'm telling you, it's an hour. No matter what. Even if it's 15 minutes, I don't care. The thing about all these 4 Karens, though.
There was 4 of these.
Yeah, there was 4 of these people.
It was all women?
No, it was like it was always groups because they were coming up to get like big
Karen
to-go orders.
Collective, okay.
Yeah, a Karen Quadrophenia of Karen Collective. So they were all coming up. So on the front end, they're making it real. It's making me real angry and it's giving me a lot of stress. On the back end, when I told them that it was going to be an hour, they didn't show back up before the hour was over.
What? The Karen clock worked?
The Karen clock conducted conducively the concept of carrying on
Conversation. Courtesies.
Courtesies. Thank you. Da-da-da-da-da.
Completed.
There's the word.
So all this is happening. I feel like I'm getting fucking pranked. I feel like it's a bit.
This is Karen after Karen after Karen.
Guy walks up. His name was Josh. He's got a cane. Guy standing next to him goes, "Hey, this guy needs to order something." I was like, "Yeah, I can see that, man."
Wait. Blind man came?
Oh boy.
And I look. And I said, "Oh, sir, do you need anything?" He knew that I was talking to him. I said, "Walk around here." He comes down the ramp.
Wait, you making this man monkey dance for you?
This is the most situationally.
Hold on. Is he like 45 years old?
Probably like 40-ish.
Hold on. Dark glasses?
No glasses at all.
Oh, just sitting there with his wild eyes?
He felt where I was and when I was and where I was coming. I was like, "Hey, what can I get you?" He goes, "Can I get a 420? I want a pizza that's herbivore, which is our veggie, add pepperoni."
You don't have Braille menus, so he'd been there before.
Yeah, he already knew. So I went back. I was like, "Let me give you an estimate on the time." I went back. It was probably going to be like 30 minutes. I came back out. I was like, "It's 30 minutes, but if it's not, I got you. I'll buy you a beer or something like that." He's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Paxton." He goes, "I'm Josh, or call me Champ, whatever." I was like, "My man." He goes, "I'm not taking a room at your bar, am I?" I was like, "Motherfucker, I want you to sit
You can
there.
lay down.
You could do whatever you want."
So I think I know this guy. And I think he went to Armstrong.
Really?
Or Georgia Southern now with me.
Yeah, his name was Josh.
Yeah, I think I would. Well, he always had glasses on, but I mean, maybe.
He wasn't wearing glasses. And so then I think his wife came up.
Eyes open or closed?
Open. Very open. No, that was
I think some people can see a little bit.
He couldn't. That was the thing, though. I would look him in the eye because, typically that's what you would do.
Yeah.
So then when his wife came up, I was like, I'm going to look him in the eye no matter what and I spoke towards his ear and I tried to make it as conducive as possible because he was so polite and so aware. When I went to walk out to tell him that his food was 5 minutes away, he moved towards me without me saying anything.
He felt your energy.
It was this weird spidey sense that really
heightened sense of awareness.
He didn't have to use what's going to be your.
It's the quote of the week.
My man Paxton dropped, after on the heels of this blind guy talk, dropped this amazing quote last night. "It's too hot for eye contact. Just tell me what you want."
But not for Josh.
I was like, hey, you started telling the story. I'm over here. I'm gripping my seat.
I saw you over there boiling up.
And I was like, oh my God, I want to tell this so bad.
It's like an R. Kelly song.
We're down. There's a big in the cabinet.
Just tell me what you want.
It's too hot for eye contact. Just tell me what you want.
But shout out to Josh, man, because I could tell that he was like,
God, it was so good.
we ran out of 420. That's the first beer they drank. I was like, I'm going to give you another beer, but if you don't like it, he took a couple sips. He goes, "Pax, I'm going to hand this back to you. I don't like it, but I'll pay for it if you want." I was like, "No, you motherfucking ain't. You about to stand right here, you and your wife. You're about to take up 2 seats at this bar until his food is done to keep all these other jackasses out of here."
Hell yeah.
And it's not not just because he was blind, but like his demeanor was like, it made me feel good. It was like helping like an old lady across the street or something. You know what I mean? Like, not that you feel bad for them.
He doesn't want your help. No, he probably did.
The thing,
You know what? A lot of people can't understand me sometimes. I don't know what the hell that's
that's
about.
weird.
You know who's never, ever asked me to repeat myself? Is a blind person. Because they're so used to listening more than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, okay.
Yeah.
This guy's on meth, but it's fine.
I'm so, you know what? He's speeding up our interaction, at least.
I saw a guy from high school. Shout out to this guy, Grant. Went to high school. Can't remember his last name. This guy, Grant. I had seen him. He was a freshman when I was a senior, but we were both in theater. So, you don't, when you're a freshman and someone's a senior, you remember, freshmen remember seniors don't remember freshmen usually because of the age difference, but you look up to people that are older than you. But I kind of remembered him, but he was looking at me across the bar last night. God, yeah, that Paloma's
bringing.
So he's got like keeps looking at me. I'm like, this guy want to fuck me or does he know me? Let's find out which one it is.
He wouldn't want to if he knew me.
He just knew me. So anyway, we still had sex. But we're talking some, and I'm like, let me ask you a question. The speed of my speech, where are we at here? He goes, it's slower than it was before.
Really?
I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you've gotten a little clearer. He's like,
He's got a weird memory.
yeah. I saw that too happen earlier. That's fine.
whatever.
But he was
Who
like,
cares?
I was like, good. Tell everyone to hear this, please.
Yeah. Will you
Spread the gospel. Turn the music off.
Will you preach this gospel to everyone? So we're
We're
gonna do
preach some gospel here.
we're gonna do a Patreon in a second because and one of the topics is gonna be and we've talked about when I've dressed in golf clothes to go to the store very early in the morning. Oh. So I left my car at Huckapoo's last night and I had to do the walk of shame at about 6 a.m. to go get it. Even though it wasn't like a walk, I was here like
You're giving it all away now.
I don't want to bury.
Well, don't
the
worry.
lead.
We also got restaurant reviews of a certain employee. of
I
a certain
forgot about
restaurant
that. Listen,
That one of us works at.
Da-na-na-na-na. If you're not a patron,
You're going to want to be.
You're gonna wanna be, 'cause
This is a tragic story involving genitalia. So we'll see you on Patreon. Thank you.
So,
guys.
please subscribe to our YouTube channel, From Behind the Barcast.
Give it a like. Thank you, Crosby. Gave it a like last week.
Oh, thank you, Crosby.
We love you, Crosby.
Also, if you want to join the Patreon, it's patreon.com/From Behind the Barcast. Kelly, we love you. Well done.
Play court, Kelly.
Clint,
Killed
you're
it.
cool. We're out.
Bro, the quote of the week. I had no idea what the flag guy was saying. And you started talking about it. I was like,